It's like 1 o'clock in the morning right now, and I just finished watching the three Pirates of the Caribbean. I know there's four, but there's like three in like the main trilogy of movies. And I've come to the conclusion that when people think of me, I want them to think of three people. First, Christ. Second, Jim Halpert. And third, Will Turner. Think I pretty much have all the attributes of each of those different people already. Maybe not. So, I got some sleep, and so here's the thing. I finished watching those three Pirates of the Caribbean movies last night. I watched the first one earlier in the week, and then I watched the second and third one in like the subsequent days. And I realized something that I've known but haven't really thought about is I haven't watched that third movie in a very long time. Specifically because I remember it puts me in a funky mood. Now, I really, really love that. Hey, would you settle? Would you settle? Hey, well, where you think you're going? We're hanging out on the rock for a minute while I film a video. Can you be patient? Hey, look at me. You're up. Look at me, please. Look at me. Would you just settle, please? And you're stepping on my headphones. Look, I love the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, but they put me in a funky mood. And I enjoy watching them, but once they're over, and even sometimes in the middle, it just puts me in like a melancholy mood. And I don't know why, but I've known this for a long time, and it just, as I get older, it gets worse. And so I decided that I spent last night and this morning, and I'm going to be thinking about it all day, because I'm going to get to the root of why those movies make me so emotional. I probably shouldn't put that in my mouth. It's really disgusting.
Her mama and her daddy didn't even know my name. They packed that girl for college. She left me when summer came. When summer came. When summer came. Oh, took my heart away when summer came.
So maybe it's the music that kind of puts me in that weird funky mood, because I love the Pirates of the Caribbean music, and I always have since I was a kid. And listening to that brings me back to when Monty and I were like in middle school, maybe elementary school. It came out, I believe, in 2003, the first one, and the other one's in 2006 and 2007, I want to say. And we used to listen to those soundtracks all the time when we'd hang out, and I would listen to it constantly on my own time, and that was 13 years ago. So I was like 8? I was 8, and then I was 11 when the second one came out. Man, and I just listened to those all the time. So maybe hearing the music is what sends me back and makes me just really nostalgic. But that can't entirely be it, because I used to listen to Lord of the Rings soundtracks a lot, and Star Wars soundtracks and all that, but when I listen to those, I don't get like a melancholy feeling. I get like a good, like, oh, this is my childhood feeling. The mystery continues.
When summer came, oh, took my love away. But better it's over, 'cause now I'm hearing things. She's living on campus, doing stuff you won't believe. I'm not gonna blast you, baby. I'm not gonna spread these lies. I still believe in love, but my love is taking time.
So maybe it's because I really hate the ending of the third one, and so it makes the other ones, it makes me sadder watching the other ones because I know where it's going to end up. I hate the fact that, and this is spoilers for the first three Pirates of the Caribbean movies, I hate that at the very end, Will becomes basically the captain of the Flying Dutchman, and he can only go on land every 10 years, so we can't see Elizabeth and his new son, but one day every 10 years. And so the whole journey leading up to this last couple minutes of the third movie, it's like the whole journey of them kind of getting together. It's like this love story that ends with this tragedy that now this guy, he can only see his wife and his kid one day every 10 years. Like, that's so sickening to me. I hate that. And I hate the way it ends. Jack should have just stabbed the heart. And if he would have done that, then he could have been the guy sailing the seas for eternity. And who cares if Jack can't go on land only once every 10 years. But if Will can't go on the land, then he can't see Elizabeth or... So that irks me. If that's not clear, the ending irks me. But at the same time, I get it from like kind of an artistic standpoint, where Jack has been like this extremely like selfish character throughout the whole series, and then at the very end he sacrifices what he wants the most so that Will doesn't die. And so it's like a noble sacrifice on Jack's part, and technically all the characters live, but it's just, I don't know, man. I really hate it. I like happy endings. I do. Bittersweet endings are great too, but I didn't like... Maybe that's it. Maybe that's the overriding thing, is I really hate the way it ends. And so the rest of it... But that shouldn't make me like just like bummed out. Like still... Like, the Mass Effect 3 ending at the time really bugged me. Now, I don't give a crap. I don't care anymore, even when I think about it. But this movie series is putting me in a weird mood. So it can't just be the ending or just the music. I mean, they're all elements that add to it, but... Don't understand! You know, ever since I was a little kid, I had this, like, God has hardwired, like, a desire and a sense of adventure into my being that I don't think I could shake even if I wanted to. So maybe, as I get older, and I watch these movies and just kind of get lost in, like, the sense of adventure and, like, grandiose scale and everything, maybe it makes me think, may just feel, like, a little bit disappointed with my own life, because I want so badly to go on some kind of adventure, and yet I look at my life and I realize that there's really no adventures that I'm going on or partaking in, and my life is actually kind of boring, all things considered. So maybe it's this longing for an adventure, which I've always had. Like, ask any of my friends or people that know me, and they'll know that I always talk about, oh, it'll be fun, it'll be an adventure, I want to go on an adventure, blah, blah, blah. And so maybe it's looking back on this and just seeing this, like, grand adventure kind of thing. That's like, I just want to go on an adventure. I want to go on an adventure, and I want to be a hero, and maybe that's what's causing it. I think we're getting to the bottom of this. It's kind of strange that I'm taking all day to think about Pirates of the Caribbean. But I think we're getting closer every time I film one of these. We're gonna get to the bottom of this.
College is over, the tables have turned around. I graduated and she's the talk of the town. Don't try to call me girl, I've got things to do. It's amazing how life can make a fool of you. See, I upgraded to a black and blue Corvette. Some people make mistakes, but there's a thing I don't regret. Mama and her daddy didn't even know my name. They packed that girl for college. They saved me when summer came.
So I was kind of driving around and walking around out here, just enjoying the nice weather, and you know, I was thinking about the whole adventure thing I was kind of talking about a minute ago, and that can't fully be it either, because when I watch like Lord of the Rings or other adventure movies, I get like this excited, like, yeah, I want to go on an adventure or something, you know, or it just makes me feel like a little kid again, but it's not like kind of like disappointing. And in order to get to the bottom of this, I'm going to break my rule, my self-instated rule. I told myself I wasn't going to talk about her anymore, but just one more time, because I've been thinking about it a lot, and I think the root of my issue is that those movies remind me a lot of Catherine, and which is kind of frustrating, really. But I think when people watch movies, they find the character that they most relate with, and they kind of are able to kind of imprint that character, themselves onto that character. And ever since I was a little kid, I always imprinted myself on the Will Turner character in that. Never Jack Sparrow. I never wanted to be Jack Sparrow or any of the pirates or anything. Like, they weren't cool, because I like Will. He's a good guy. He's trying to do the right thing. He's just in love with a girl. And thinking back, I have a lot of memories of watching those movies with Catherine. Oh, look at that! There was a beaver! Oh, come back! Oh, man. I missed him. Sorry, guys. I just saw him when he was going underwater. That would have been cool. But, I have a lot of movies or memories with her watching that movie. And you know, I was watching the third one last night, and it occurred to me last night that the character of Elizabeth very unfortunately reminds me a lot of Catherine. And that whole relationship with her and Will, where it's on again, off again, where she, you know, maybe can't make up her mind and is just is flirtatious with everybody. And Will's just there. He's just like, I love this girl, and I would do anything for her. But then he's also feeling torn between his family and her, and it's like a whole thing. And it's just, maybe, you know, watching those movies just reminds me a little too much of Catherine, which maybe is why I get that like melancholy feeling when I watch it or listen to the music. And that's gotta be it, because I've thought about this for like a full 24 hours at this point, and that is the only thing that I feel like would really like stir up these kind of emotions. And you know, I want to be over it, and I feel like I'm pretty close. I feel like I'm close, because whenever I really think about it, I'm like, yeah, you know, that wasn't a good situation. You know, it's just not a good fit. I need to move on. But then, when I am honest with myself, I know I don't want to do that. Because when I tell myself we aren't a good fit or it didn't work out, I know the reasons it didn't work out. And we are a good fit. Which is why it's so frustrating. I'm not going to think about this anymore. But this thought process is taking me to a dark place today. Just thinking about all the disappointments in my life. But now that I have identified why those movies make me kind of get off of me, bug. Now that I've identified why it is that those movies make me feel the way that they do, I'm gonna go back and watch it and see if, now knowing the issue, if I can bypass that emotional feeling and just enjoy the movies for what they are. That's probably a bad idea, but I'm gonna do it anyway, because I like torturing myself. I'm not ready for them to come back from Israel. They come back in like 27 days or something, and I am very much not ready for them to be back yet. I could use like 4 more months, and then I think I'd be good. Maybe. Probably not. I'm a mess. Such a mess. I'm sitting in the dirt with my white shorts right now. I'm gonna go home. I'm hungry. I hope you guys are all having a fantastic day. Is there any movies in your guys' lives that bring up memories or make you feel a certain way that is weird or unique to you in some way? If there is, let me know in the comments down below, because I'm sure everybody has their own story, and I'd like to hear yours. Anyway, I'm going to go. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you all are having a fantastic day, and I will see you guys on the flip side.
Oh, so I moved on, girl. You were laughing at me, now I'm laughing at you. In line, when summer came.